Yo, what's up boys, and welcome to a video on a game which a few people have asked me to look at called Wild West Online. If you guys haven't heard of this game before, I'll tell you everything you need to know about it in this video right now, but essentially the TLDR of it is, if you scroll down right here, the game claims to be an emergent, systems-driven, open-world, Wild West-themed action MMO built from the ground up for PC and featuring world exploration, resource gathering, PvP combat, PvE missions, and much, much more. Basically, if you scroll down, it says loads of wonderful shit about how you can, buy properties in the future, you can put bounties on people, you can be a bandit, you can be a nice guy, you can steal from houses, you can gamble in bars, and all of this wonderful, wonderful shit. But I'm sure a lot of you guys look at the Reddit. Normally I wouldn't make a video in this format, but it just seems best to do it this way. But if you guys don't look at Reddit, there was this Reddit post earlier, which is, what the fuck's going on with Wild West Online? Which links to this article from Kotaku. So I'll link to the article in the description below, and also to Bigfry, who was mentioned in this article. He's a good YouTuber, and he was kind of the guy who originally started asking questions about Wild West Online, since it sounds really too good to be true, you know? An MMO set in a Wild West theme. I mean, that's why it's called Wild West Online. So you started questioning things, started looking at things, and found quite a lot of questionable things about the game and its developers and stuff like that. Also, there is a gameplay video that is right now, or is out right now. I'll show you guys that a bit later on, but I'll show you all the screenshots on the website right now. That's the video right there, which we'll have a look at in a second. But essentially, the game, if you guys haven't heard of these games before, then it's hard really to describe the past that I've had, but the developers from this game seem to have links to the developers of War Z, Infestation's Fire Stories, Shattered Skies, Burst Fire, probably a game you haven't heard of, but I'll talk about these in a few seconds. And those games have had some very, very controversial pasts. Most people saying that the games are fucking terrible, as we'll see right here, very negative, and also that they just don't end up finishing the game, they don't end up following through with their promises, which there is also some promises at the bottom right here. So that's really what we're going to be talking about today, and letting you guys know what I think about it. And really just to avoid the game, at least until it's out. It plans on releasing in summer of 2017, I think it says that somewhere here, maybe. So I'd say just wait until it's out. I will buy it, and if it's shit, it's shit. If it's not shit, it's not shit. I'm not saying it's guaranteed it's going to be terrible, but I'm just saying avoid it for the time being because of reasons I'm going to be talking about in this video. But anyway, so if you want to read through the entire article, you'll feel free to do so, but obviously it is a pretty long article with several screenshots. I'm not gonna lie, I have really just skimmed through it, but I can get the general gist of what's going on here, and I do notice certain things in this article which I mentioned, which kind of are very similar to how the War Z originally was really being made. If I look at the top of this right here, this is the screenshot which originally got everyone excited. This was a screenshot which many people believed was actually Red Dead Redemption 2, and it just looks like a very nice screenshot. You know, some horses here, some nice mountains in the background. This is just chilling out. Looks like a pretty cool screenshot, right? But it turned out this game was in fact Wild West Online. So it looks like a really nicely like rigged screenshot, I guess. And obviously this game is definitely trying to kind of steal a bit of popularity from the popularity of... Stealing from popularity of the popularity, that doesn't make too much sense. But of... Fuck off, dude! Like, I'm clearly making a video, mother. And you knock on my door. I'm let down with you. I'm let down by you. Apologize immediately.
Sorry.
That's okay. Very let down. Anyway. So, Wild West Online. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out in Q4 of 2017, I believe it is, and this game is trying to, take the popularity of that and make a fuck ton of money from it. The same thing happened with War Z when they made and launched that game originally and shown all of these awesome screenshots, making it look amazing. These are all rigged screenshots. You can't do this stuff in game, most of the animations aren't in game, and when they're stills, they do look like pretty good screenshots and make you want to buy the game. Look at all the zombies, look at this epic customization, look at this awesome city. Look at these awesome scientist dudes, which aren't actually in the game. They've done this with every single game they've ever made, where they just rig screenshots and make them look really good. So again, with this screenshot and this screenshot right here, where we're just chilling out, where that doesn't link to a screenshot, whatever. You can see the screenshot here, where we're just riding in the wilderness on their horses. They're just rigged screenshots. And this same thing applies with any game where they're trying to take popularity from. Burst Fire is exactly the same. Most of you guys, like I said, probably haven't heard of it, but this game was trying to take a bit of the light from Rainbow Six Siege. In fact, if you look at these screenshots, you'd probably say, is that Rainbow Six Siege? No, it's not Rainbow Six Siege. It's Burst Fire. At the time of making this video, this game now has 2 people playing it on Steam. I don't know if you can buy it because there is literally no buy button. It's right there. Today's... Oh no, sorry, there's 0 people playing on it. But two player peak. pretty good shit, and it was clearly trying to just be like, hey, I'm Rainbow Six Siege, but I'm made by dodgy Russians. Check me out, guys. And the same thing applies with Shattered Skies, right? Those screenshots are great. Shattered Skies screenshots look great as well. So, like, I was talking to my friend Kat yesterday, and he was saying, oh yeah, but the developers said they are not involved with these Russian men and Sergei Titov. You can't guarantee that. I'm just saying, don't believe everything you hear on the internet, even if they say they're innocent, like they do in these little posts right here, saying why they're using the terrible engine from Warzy, which is called Nightshade. I think I mentioned this somewhere here. Well, yeah, the engine's called Nightshade. They're using the same engine and to make up some excuses for it. Yeah, I guess maybe you could use Nightshade, but I feel like there's probably a better engine to use than Nightshade. But obviously, if you use the different engines, you get less money. You have to take a cut out of it with most of the engines, and also you will be you won't be able to use your Russians who know the Nightshade engine so well to make this epic shit game and rig all these epic shit screenshots. So so far, very interesting. Anyway, hopefully I'm not ranting too much, but you guys can get the general gist of what I'm saying, right? Rigged screenshots, it's looking pretty epic, right? So we'll just go ahead and close these now, and then we'll look at the article a bit more, and also the buy now button. So this is something we've done also with all the games in the past, where essentially they get the full cut of money. Instead of going through Steam with some pre-order shit, right? We've got like 3 different tiers. We did the same thing with Warzy, where it's like, whoa, get premium now, and you'll get all this epic shit, and you'll get access to all this epic DLC and all these epic fucking houses, right? We did exactly the same thing with Warzy through Xsolar, just like we're doing with Xsolar right here, which means they get more money, and they get to use a refund policy to their preference. They do mention there is a refund policy up here, but I don't know. Last time I got a refund from Xsolar, I got perm banned from Xsolar because I wanted a refund for the Warzy, which meant I couldn't subscribe to people for years. Well, not perm banned because I'm on ban now, but yeah, I got a refund for Warzy, but Xsolar perm banned me. So yeah, I don't really like Xsolar too much, and it's just a bit concerning that it's in their hands rather than Steam's hands, right? As long as you play the game for less than 2 hours on Steam, you will get a refund for it. That's not a guarantee here, considering there's some big red flags going on here. Anyway, getting into the bit more suspicious shit, but this video right here is from Bigfry. But essentially, you can see the head guy behind this game, Stefan Vladimir. He's friends on Facebook with Sergei Titov, which isn't the scariest thing ever, but still, it's very interesting. There's this screenshot which I showed you guys a second ago, where we mentioned that they just didn't want to use Unreal or anything like that because it's going to take them like an extra year to make it. And also another thing to mention is the fact that I know it's a different company in quotations, but like there's so many companies involved with this. This, although it was made by the same fucking company and probably the same engine, it's made by Natural Games, and they've made one game, and this game was made by fucking Free Reign Entertainment, who was also what was the name, like Hammerpoint Interactive or Hammerpoint something, or who made the Warzy, which was then Infestation Star Stories. Like, there's just so many new companies and so much weird shit going on. Like, just why? And then if I scroll down, things get even weirder, and I start seeing red flags from a Warzy's website as well, where they mention, oh yeah, there's industry experts working on a game. Like, they've made Call of Duty and fucking Rise and Crisis and Star Trek Online. I swear to God, I remember these exact same games, in fact, on Warzy, that they said they made Call of Duty, and now they made Star Trek Online, and these are obviously big claims, and it sounds good. Oh wow, these guys who have made these AAA games are working on this game, which is, Wild West multiplayer or an MMO. Like, that sounds fucking dope, right? That sounds dope. I'm going to buy that game. I'm going to buy the most expensive edition, and it's going to be amazing. So I'll put the gameplay on screen now for the rest of the video, but if you want to see the full, like, voiced over gameplay, there'll be a link to that in the description. I'd recommend watching it. There's a lot of, like, very weird acting and a lot of just talking about features which are going to be in the game which aren't really proven to be in the game. And the thing is, there's a lot of vagueness with even this term MMO. DayZ also claimed to be an MMO, which I still don't believe this game it really is an MMO. You can't really define what is an MMO and what isn't. But in my opinion, 60 players on one server is not an MMO. For Warzy was also claiming to be a zombie open world MMO. I also still don't think it's an MMO. It's just a lot of people on a server. If you can get more people on a Battlefield server than you can on a massive open world like this, I don't really think it is a massively multiplayer online game. It just doesn't really make too much sense. But just claiming that you can... This isn't things which are going to be immediately in the game. Like I said, if you want more information, check it out in the description, but hopefully you guys should just be able to see some red flags right here and just stay back from it, right? That's pretty much the reason why I made this video. But saying, like, you can, crack safes and steal from stalls, and as long as you don't get caught doing it, then you won't get a bounty on you and stuff like that, and you'll see the bounty system and stuff like that inside this video in a few seconds, where you can go and hunt people. I am actually surprised that no one's really made a game, at least in recent memory, other than Red Dead Redemption that is a Wild West game. But this game just sounds too good to be true in my eyes. Mentioning, deputy systems and, like I said just a second ago, safe cracking and becoming a bandit and being able to steal from houses. It just sounds too good to be true. And this little gameplay video right here doesn't look terrible. You can definitely see some of the Nightshade things which were kind of weird about the game, which are still unfixed, like the weird walking animation that looks like you just shot yourself. The blending of when you sprint to when you aren't sprinting with a weapon, where it just immediately goes up. Just like there's no animation blending there at all. Not that it's a big deal, but it just, I don't really see why we would use Nightshade still. Even if we're going to make up all these reasons for using Nightshade, it still seems very, very fishy. In fact, I'll put these on screen right now as well, but these are what they claim to be the free expansions, which some of this stuff, like I said before, from a buy now page isn't actually going to be in the initial release of the game. And there is also like kind of pressure to buy the game right now because the sale's going to be over on July the 20th, guys. That's only, well, 6 days. Gotta buy right now. But being able to buy your own property, whether it's a small one or a large one, and upgrade it, sounds great. Being able to become a hired person for a bank, hired by an NPC, and you'll have to guard it, and then some guys will be alerted about that and will try to kill you. So basically, guarding a bank, that sounds pretty dope. Robbing a train, that sounds pretty cool, right? Who doesn't love trains? And just a bunch of other shit. These are all going to be free DLC coming out in the game. There's no real timeline of when they're going to come out, but again, it just sounds like a perfect Wild West multiplayer game. Why has it not been done before? Even another thing which I find very odd as well, which is also mentioned in the Kotaku, is some of the trademarks of the guy who originally filed all the trademarks for a lot of the games that Sergei Titov was involved in. In fact, I know a long time ago I said Nefer, if you guys remember that game, you probably don't. I said this game is very similar to the War Z. And I called it the War Z 2.0. I think that's what the title of the video was. And looking at this page right here, you can see that the trademark for Nefer was filed by the same guy who filed the trademarks for Infestation Style Stories, for Aftermath, for Last Man Standing, for Shattered Skies, all of these games which kind of ring a few bells. And I don't understand why all these games end up being renamed as well. There's just a lot of weird things going on, even if you like enjoy these games from this company. There's a lot of weird things going on. Shattered Skies is now called Shattered Skies Prologue. Nefer is now called Nefer Resurrected, but it's dead, so how the fuck is it resurrected? Infestation's called Infestation... no, it's always called that, I guess. But I mean, the War Z was renamed from a War Z to Infestation Style Stories. Romaro's Aftermath, I forgot about that game as well, was Romaro's Aftermath as well. I don't know, it's really, really weird. Like, I'd like to hear, as always, what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Maybe I'm just being a little fucking tinfoil hat man, but I don't think I'd say all of these words, and, it'd be all of these light links, not even light links, pretty heavy links, to Sergei Titov, and the lack of really a AAA studio making this game. It's not like this, like, employee after employee, which is like, yeah, these guys have made this, and they are publicly saying they are working on this game. Like, there just isn't really that much substance to the claims they're making, other than the CEO, or whatever the fuck his name is, the dude who originally introduced this video, Steven or Stepan, and he's the only one who it seems like has a history, which is with Telltale Games. Like, if you're gonna make claims saying that you contributed to, the development of Call of Duty and Crisis and all these other games, like, you should probably have something to back up those, instead of just naming a bunch of really popular games and saying, yeah, we have some people who made those games, but we don't know who they are, and yeah, it's really, really convincing, man. You've got my fucking sale, my dude. Yeah, sorry, looking into a bit more of the CEO is Cyrus Amadi. But he has a LinkedIn which doesn't really prove that he's got really that credible of a past. It's not like there's a bunch of games development studios which he's worked with or anything like that. And it's not like there's even a website for the company with any more information about their developers past or what games they're working on or anything like that. It's pretty much just play, WWO. I don't know, it's just a fucking mess. It's a mess. But people just need to stop supporting these games. At least in these early stages. Like I've said with all of them, even when people ask me, like, what do you think about, let's say, Identity, for example, which a lot of people have backed. I think like games like earned hundreds of thousands in backing, and I really don't know how it's going to end up. But with games like that, where it's from a developer which even has like a small amount of history, I just recommend just waiting for videos to come out and waiting for streams to come out. I remember when I was younger, I used to get really hyped up with certain games. Not that the gaming scene was quite the same, but I'd get really hyped up and I'd do anything to play those games early. I'd do anything to find more information about them. As soon as I get a sniff of information, I'm fucking on it, and I'll just be like, oh my god, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good. And then when it comes out, you get really, really disappointed. But this is like tenfold worse these days, where it's not just getting really disappointed, it feels like you actually get scammed because they don't end up following through with what they said we're going to add into a game. You know, not to go back to the Warzy again, but it's kind of the same as this, where they say there's going to be a bunch of free stuff added. You're going to be able to, like, I think they said we're going to be able to make, like, your own farm or something, which is kind of the same as this when you think about it, but that wasn't ever added into the game. Alright, I don't think I've really got anything else to say on the topic of the game. I probably missed a decent amount of things, but like I said, hopefully you guys just got the TLDR of the weirdness of it all, and just don't buy it right now. I've played when it comes out, which I guess should be sometime in the next month or so, so I'm really excited to play it. I think for most players who've ever had concurrent on one server using the Nightshade engine was like 100, yeah, probably 100, maybe 150, maybe. So it is possible that even though we have this terrible past, or not terrible past I guess, but we've got some links to a terrible past, there is a possibility that, hey, maybe the game will just get a decent amount of money raised from this little buy now button, and people will just keep on supporting it and showing some positivity, and developers will keep supporting it and updating it and adding in all these epic bank heists and train heists and shit like that, and it'll be great. But until it releases, just chill out and don't fucking expect anything from this game, because it's got a lot of red flags. And if I stop watching, if you guys want to check out the game for yourself, there'll be a link in the description. If you thought this video was terrible and that I'm really bad at arguing points against why you should or shouldn't buy a game, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll never make a video like this ever again. And also make sure to check out the Kotaku article, and again, Bigfry. Alright boys, peace, bye.
Hey Mike, how you doing there, buddy? Good to see you. Bye-bye. Now I'm gonna sneak over here and...
Got him!
Oh, Mike took down Davenport. Oh, crap!
Shit.
Our guy Sapient just shot Mike, so now it's just me. Bastard. Son of a bitch. There you are. Alright, got him. Alright, so I got the bounty. I lost Mike, but I got Sapient, and I got our bounty.